Get stress working for you. Stress management webinar for My Expert Solution. Part 1. Is stress good or bad? Presented by Brett Williams, licensed psychotherapist, part of the professional staff at My Expert Solution. Let me start this presentation off with a little bit of a warning for you. This webinar is going to be different than any other webinar you've participated in because we're going to ask you to participate. We are going to ask you to get involved. The reason why we want you to get involved is because the more you engage yourself in this seminar, the more you will change your life. And isn't that really why you're here? Isn't this what you want by listening to this seminar? Is to learn the tools you need. Well, to learn those tools, you're going to have to get engaged. We're going to have a series of exercises and activities for you. And I want you to fully put yourself into them. I want you to fully participate because the more you can, the more you do, the more you'll get out of it. All right, let's begin. Let's begin with our first exercise. It's called, What Do You Think? In this exercise, you're going to ask yourself the question, what do you associate with the word stress? So take out a pen and a paper, and I want you to write down all the thoughts that come to mind around the word stress. They can be words, they can be phrases, they can be ideas. It doesn't matter. I just want you to create an association around the word stress. Put down everything you can think of, both good and bad. Put it all on paper. Everything around the word stress. Go ahead and stop the video now and write out your associations with the word stress. All right, welcome back. I hope you really did turn off the video and allow yourself to do this exercise because, again, the more you engage yourself, the more you're going to learn and the more you're going to change. Look through your list of associations, and here's what I want you to do. I want you to circle all the words or thoughts that are positive. Anything that you wrote down that have a positive association for stress, I want you to circle those. Notice which dominates the page. The words or ideas that are circled and the words or ideas that are not. That'll give you a perspective of, is your thoughts positive or are your thoughts negative around the word stress? Well, here's my associations. Overwhelmed, overworked, anxious, maxed out, late, hurried, pressured, and out of control. And I had a couple positive come up as well. One of my positives was pushed to do my best. The other one was good under fire. But as you can clearly see by my example, by my doing the exercise, that there is a difference. The negatives clearly outweighed the positives. So what should we say? Is stress good or bad? Well, let's think about that for a second. I think stress is kind of normal. It's just a part of life. It's something we can't escape. It's the world we live in. So is stress good or bad? I think it's kind of like saying, is age good or bad? Well, that depends on how old you are. If you're 6 years old, age could be a great thing. But if you're 86 years old, age may not be the same kind of advantage that it once was before. We could say the same thing about stress. Is stress good or bad? Well, it kind of depends on how much stress you experience. What I've done is created a little graphic for you to be able to look at what we're talking about. And you can see where stress is both positive and negative. On this graph, we have two axes. One of them is productivity, and that's this top axis right here. The other axis point is stress or demands. And what we'll see is as stress and demands increases, our productivity increases. And that's what that represents. But also we hit a point where if we continue to apply stress and more stress it comes onto our lives, we get even less work done. And we have what we call a bell-shaped curve. On the first part of the bell-shaped curve down here, we have what I think of as vacation mode. It's where we can't get anything done because we just don't have enough pressure. We don't have enough stress. And so everything's manana. Everything's I'll take care of it later. It's that syndrome that happens when you were in school and the first day of class they gave you a report to take care of or some kind of term paper to do. And none of us did it the first day because we had a semester to do it. And it wasn't until the end of the semester, when the pressure was up, we actually got it done. Well, that's one end of the continuum. The other end of the continuum is when we have so much stress, we have so much going on, we can't perform. We're just overwhelmed, and I call that our stress mode. And in stress mode, it's like our brain is just spinning on ice. We can't focus. I just can't think. I don't know what to do because I have so much pressure. My productivity drops because I can't get it done. But there's also a middle ground, and the middle ground is where we need to focus. Some of the middle ground is positive, and some of the middle ground is negative. The positive side of the middle ground that we're talking about now is the eustress side, and that's all this side right here, where stress is actually helping us to perform and to do well. The other side is the distress side, and that's where there is some getting done, but as we apply more stress, we're struggling, and it's getting harder and harder to get stuff done. So we have healthy stress, which is eustress, and unhealthy stress, which is distress. Now, cardiologists have come along and looked at these two different sides of stress and created a personality type or personality profile around these two different sides. We have the healthy side, and we have a dysfunctional side or a disease side, which is the distress side. Cardiologists come along and said there is what's called a type A personality. And the type A personality are the high-strung people, the people that are more prone to having heart attacks. And then there's the type B personalities, and those are the people that are more relaxed and less likely to be prone to heart attacks. So in our example here, you can see that the healthy person, the type B person, is more relaxed. They're calm, they're efficient, they're getting things done. But our distressed person, our type A personality, is high-strung and having trouble focusing and getting the job going. So let's take a little quick quiz and find out what personality type you are. Which characterizes you best? I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and you just answer them that feels the most natural, feels the most honest for you. No one's going to look at your results but you. But I really encourage you, spend some time, really think about the answer. The first question, when someone takes a long time to express thoughts, how do you react to that? Question 2, after a hard day at work, think about that for a second. 3, when you achieve a goal, and lastly, 4, for appointments, Now, a type B personality, remember the calm, the laid-back personality, they're usually patient listeners. So when someone's taking a long time to express themselves, they just listen. Again, the type B personality like to relax. They take time to relax. So after a hard day at work, what do? They relax. And the type B person will enjoy the success that they've created. Finally, typically, type A personalities are showing up early or right on time. Now let's contrast it with type A personalities. Type A personalities, they get frustrated when people take too long to express themselves. As soon as they get home from work, they're looking for more to do. Once they've achieved a goal, they want to move on to the next goal. It's always drive, drive, drive. And for appointments, they typically show up late because they're doing so much and they have so much going on. So look at which one you are, type A or type B.